Welcome to Newark Made, where we bring you the voices of people shaping Newark's future. I'm Emily Manns, and today we're with Natalia Villanueva, a second-generation entrepreneur and the owner of 2 thriving businesses in Newark's Lower Broadway neighborhood. Her family has been operating El Criollo Restaurante for nearly 40 years, serving Puerto Rican and Peruvian cuisine and doubling as a vibrant cultural venue. In 2025, Natalia expanded this legacy by opening Cafecitos Bakery, a cafe and pastry shop located just steps away. She's a graduate of Invest Newark's Executive Business Accelerator and continues to play a critical role in the economic and cultural vitality of our community. We're excited to explore her journey as a business owner, a cultural steward, and a neighborhood advocate. Natalia, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
That
was a great intro. Thank you.
Well, you've done a lot. You're a busy lady. So we're excited to talk to you. And so before we get started, I know we know each other well, but I still want to ask a little fun icebreaker question.
Sure.
What's one piece of advice that you'd whisper in your own ear when you were first getting started?
Patience.
Patience.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more about that.
I want things done yesterday.
Okay. I'm familiar with that.
And life doesn't work that way.
Okay.
And I think I would have saved myself a lot of stress if I just had the patience to let things ride.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good piece of advice. Mm-hmm. So your family has operated El Criollo for nearly 4 decades. You literally grew up in the business. What has it meant for you personally and professionally to step into a leadership role in this business that you've been around for decades?
It's been challenging, but rewarding. I get to spend more time with my parents now. They're still a very vital part of the business.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a thin line because we don't know when, working with family is always difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And we trying to navigate this new leadership role and where you're trying to stay with the legacy and the core values that they brought, but also in this new developing market and stay relevant.
Mm-hmm.
After so many years, the landscape of the restaurant business has changed.
Okay. What's changed in your mind about the restaurant business?
It's not just about the food.
Okay.
It's about the decor, about the ambiance. It has to do with, does that plate Instagrammable?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of nuances that just go into the restaurant business nowadays.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I see, it's interesting you say that because I think the last time we visited, I saw that you'd incorporated some renovations. There was a big renovation going on. Was that part of you trying to kind of stay relevant and pay attention to those new issues?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. The food, the palates change. People get more, they're more sophisticated in what they want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So we're always constantly changing the menu and renovating it so it can look like a vibrant place, somewhere where you want to keep going with your family. But also trying to hold on to the reason why we've been relevant for 40 years, the reason we're in business for 40 years.
Yeah.
So it's a tightrope, but we're managing it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what is the reason? What do you think is that thing that's kept you relevant for all those years?
Good prices, good service, and a clean place.
Those are all important. Great. So earlier this year, you opened Cafecitos Bakery in the same neighborhood, literally a couple steps down. What factors guided your decision to expand in the Lower Broadway neighborhood, and how did you kind of assess the market to have this second business?
Well, when we acquired that property, that wasn't my intentions. We were looking at what we were going to do with the space, and the people that wanted to rent it wasn't something that we wanted in the neighborhood. We felt like we needed something different. And my husband owns and operates a few bakeries here in Newark.
Okay.
So I thought that was, when we started looking at them, I was like, well, would it work? Wouldn't it work? We decided that maybe that's what the neighborhood needed. I wanted to go outside and I wanted to get a cup of coffee or an iced latte that's not, a big chain.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something we couldn't find in our neighborhood.
Yeah. So
I took a leap of faith and here we are.
That's amazing. Well, I think you're underselling it a little bit. It is a bakery, but it's a high-end coffee shop. You've got cappuccinos in there. You have beautiful carrot cake. It's really nice. And
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the decor and some of the things that you're offering there that, again, you didn't really quite see in the neighborhood.
Well, we want to keep it, like I said, with the tradition. There's that fine line. Lower Broadway is changing. The faces are changing. But there's still a lot of the ones that were there, the ones that cemented the foundation. So when it came to the menu, we still have the guava with cheese and the Cuban sandwiches, but we also have matcha lattes.
Okay.
And We have Morocho, which is an Ecuadorian drink. So we try to have a face of everything that we see in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because I also live in the neighborhood.
Right. That's a beautiful combination. And it's just talking about how you're evolving to meet all the needs that are there. And your prices are affordable.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's good. So you're a graduate of Invest Newark's Executive Business Accelerator, which is a pretty in-depth program. It's for businesses that are, at over 100,000 in revenues, that employ people, that, you have to spend a lot of time. It's 7 months long. It's, 15 classes. How did that experience shape your approach to entrepreneurship? How did you decide it was time to take that class, and then what's changed since then?
COVID.
Okay.
When COVID hit, nobody was ready for it.
Yep.
And I realized that the way we were doing business personally in Criollo was the way that my parents always did it.
Okay.
We had our local bookkeeper and et cetera, and we were doing very good. COVID hit, and when all these grants started coming up, we didn't know how to navigate it, and neither did our accountant at the time. So we had to learn.
Yep. We
had to learn step by step. Our neighbors were also, they would look to us, how'd you do this, how'd you do that? And we realized that for us small business owners, there really wasn't someone to guide us. And at that time, remember, PPPs were just, these big banks, and they weren't returning our calls. So that showed me that we needed something more. And I started just signing up and going online. And I found Invest Newark, and then you guys had a workshop a few months later. And I met with Hilda, and she had, I was like, well, they're going to accept us. You really feel when you're working on your business, you're working so much in your business instead of on your business that, you're working inside the business instead of working on your business, that you don't realize how much impact you have.
Yeah.
So with Hilda, when she did the interview, I was like, will they accept me? And she was like, oh, you're perfect for it.
Yep.
And then when we first started, it becomes kind of, oh, we know how to do this. You know how to do this. But then you meet these entrepreneurs and these mentors that are showing you a different area, or maybe you were lacking this, or I didn't know that. And it was transformative. I mean, it also got us thinking into, we're at this good place. We're doing this, but what else can we do?
Yeah.
What else? Look at these numbers. We never had a business plan. Although we've been working for over 35 years at the time. We never sat down and wrote it on paper. Wow. These are our goals. This is what we're going to do. This is what we could do 4 or 5 years from now.
Yeah.
We just sit down at the table with family, drinking coffee, and be like, oh, did you see this place? Oh, let's try to do this here.
Wow. So, I mean, you said a lot of good things there. And I think that COVID did show, if you kind of weren't organized necessarily in all the different ways that a business needs to be, sometimes with the accounting and the all the papers that need to be filed with the state, it was all these opportunities coming, and you sometimes could miss them. Right. And so we, I think that myself, I had a business during COVID before I came here, and I was not organized, and it was a moment where, wow, I'm going to miss opportunities if I don't kind of get myself together. And I think that that's just that was a moment for people, I think, to realize that, and hopefully we don't have anything else like that on the horizon. But it's still good to be prepared.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think Invest Newark was also a catalyst into our thinking that. As Newarkers, as small business owners, like I said, you feel like you're navigating these waters alone.
Right.
But Invest Newark when I need something, it's given me this opportunity, like now, for example. Or just, I had a question a few weeks ago when we were opening, and I spoke with Chris, and he was like, oh, we have this, and we have that, and we have this. Yep. Where before, it's just like, go online and see what you can read on YouTube or something. Right. So you have a direct contact. Yep. On somebody that can help you navigate to what it is that you're looking for. Yeah. Or just answer that question if they can. Yep.
And Hilda Castellano is our senior training manager. She works closely with our instructor, Jeff, who's amazing.
He's amazing.
He's amazing. Jeff's fantastic. And working, he really, I think, acknowledges that business owners are so busy, especially a food business. I mean, you've got stuff that is going to expire. You've got you've got safety, cooking standards. You've got so many employees. You're busy working in your business. And he really emphasizes that you got to work on your business.
Correct.
So that's like I'm glad you mentioned that takeaway, because that's something that I think hopefully most folks that come out of the Executive Business Accelerator, like, they have that takeaway too. And it's hard.
I think the hardest part is delegating.
Yes.
Never letting, because your business is your baby.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a toddler. You're seeing it crawl, and then you want it to run. But then how do you let it go?
Yeah.
And that's what, I think that's what Jeff, one of the biggest takeaways from Jeff was that learning how to delegate a little bit.
Yeah.
And no one's going to work as hard as me, because not that I work that hard, but
No.
they're not the owners.
Right.
You know. But if I find someone that just works 30 or 40%, I find another one that does not 30%.
Yep.
It's a lot of load off, and which gave us the opportunity to see that, you know what, I could probably now have time to open another business.
Yep. I love that. I love that analogy that you just mentioned. That's great. No, yeah, shout out to Jeff Dunn. He's the real deal. So we did a study. There's some research that we did to see where people are shopping in Newark. Are they shopping in their, where they live? Are they shopping outside of Newark, other places? And we found that in the Bloomfield Avenue, Lower Broadway area that you're located in, the residents generate $29 million in demand for goods and services annually, but only $3.5 million is actually currently being met by businesses in the neighborhood. So there's immense demand among the residents of the area that you're in. How do you see your businesses helping to close this gap and meet community needs?
Well, like I mentioned, there was when we acquired the property, we were looking to see who would rent the place, and a lot of the business we thought would be interested weren't, because they say they don't believe that the demographics were right for them.
Yep.
But we see the need because we live there,
Yep.
because we shop there,
Yep.
which made me have this leap of faith. And, the products are selling. People want to diversify. It's not just, it's not just your typical going to the big chains to buy things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of the small businesses are not doing it because probably funding or, cities, sectors. It's just a lot of nuances to open up a business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love that you said we know it because we live here. And so that was, a big driver for us to do this report, is that we, those of us that live here, we know there's demand. We know we're driving sometimes outside the city for certain goods and services, and yet would prefer to buy them here. And so it was when we did this study, we found data to back that up, that the demand and the money is here in Newark. So it's great that you're kind of proving that out through your businesses right now.
We get that a lot with people, because we put the sign up.
Mm-hmm.
Put the sign up like a year ago.
You did.
They were going to open. But then we had another opportunity to do something else somewhere else that needed our attention. So when we finally got here and we opened up 3 weeks ago, we get that a lot. We're like, oh, we couldn't wait for you to get here.
Yeah.
Oh, we've been waiting for a place like this for a long time.
Yes.
I was like, okay, great. I'm here now.
That's good. And you did put your sign up a while ago, but it did generate excitement for a long time. And now I see you have an Instagram account people can follow. How else do you get the word out?
Well, right now it's just IG, social media. We're going to do our grand opening in about 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We're in beta mode, seeing what works, what doesn't.
Smart. Mm-hmm.
So right now it's just social media, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love what you're doing.
And a lot of word of mouth.
Yes, that's always important. So okay, so I heard a rumor that El Criollo hosted Bad Bunny a long time ago.
Yes.
Pretty early in his career. Can you tell me a little bit about that, because that's exciting. Okay. But then kind of how do you do cultural programming? How is that part of your business's identity? Some people that maybe have played at El Criollo.
Okay. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So Criollo started off as a restaurant in 1976.
Wow.
My parents bought it in 1984.
Okay.
84, 85. It was just one location.
Okay.
And in 1990, we acquired the business next door. We expanded. So we were pretty big, more than what the market demanded for just a restaurant. So we started doing events. And we saw that, again, at that time, my parents had the foresight to see that nobody had filled that niche. So we were bringing in bands from Peru and Ecuador and Puerto Rico at the time. And it would get packed. So we were known to do these bands, not often, just when they were in town. And it was part of what we had. So it was the restaurant and nightclub.
Okay.
When the Bad Bunny story, it's true, he was there.
Okay.
We, he was doing the Puerto Rican Day Parade at the time. They had invited him to the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York.
Okay.
And they needed a venue for him to do after the parade. And they told, it was a Sunday. So like, sure, we're available. We could do it. But we didn't know.
Right. Like, come on by.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, he could do it. And then the tickets went on sale. This was like 3 days prior. This is like on the Wednesday. He was going to be here on the Sunday.
Okay.
So like, how many people can he get?
Right.
400 tickets sold out like in 2 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah, so we're like, wait a minute, who is this? And I have teenagers, and they were excited. I'm never excited with anything that I do. But they were like, oh, we'll work that day. And I was like, who is this guy? So we started looking into him. I was like, all right, we're not going to be able to handle this. So we put on IG and someone saying that the concert was canceled.
Oh, okay.
But we honored the 400 people that did buy their tickets. So it was like a private concert. Again, this is when he first started. So those 400 people that went, they have those memories.
Yeah. Wow. It's a big venue, but for that kind of level of talent, it's a small venue. So that must be big memories for those people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as far as other arts, we've had Aventura with Romeo Santos.
Wow.
We had Mark Anthony. We've had every great artist in Ecuador and Peru has been there.
Wow. Wow. And those people play the Prudential Center on a regular basis.
Right. Now they do.
Yeah, now they do.
Right.
But they kind of, when they were getting their start, came to El Criollo.
Yeah, they came to El Criollo, and now we do our Independence Festival in our parking lot, which holds 1,500 people.
Oh.
So we do that 2 times a year in the summertime.
What's that? I'm not familiar with that festival. Can you tell me more?
Oh, Independence Day for Ecuador is on the 4th of April. August, excuse me. It's the first week of August. I think it's the 10th, I'm sorry. But on the first Sunday, we do festivals in our parking lot.
Wow.
And they bring the biggest name artists in Ecuador.
Okay.
And we do it 2 weeks.
Wow.
Every first and second Sunday.
Yep.
And we have about 1,800 people that come in.
Wow. That's amazing. Wow. Well, you have a great area there on Lower Broadway. You have El Criollo, you have the parking lot, and then Cafecitos. So you have like almost a whole block that you've activated. Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing.
My parents played Monopoly a long time ago.
Good. Well, good for them. So we always like to end by asking our guests to pay it forward. Can you shout out a Newark business that you really love and tell us why you think everyone should go check them out?
There's so many.
Yeah. You could do 2 if you need to.
So many.
Okay.
Okay. One that I personally love to go and have breakfast in and has that community feel and the vibe, and you can see everybody there, would be El Guame on Broadway.
Okay.
And then there's another bakery that women-owned, just opened about 2 years ago, I would say. She's doing really well for herself. It's Caitlin's Bakery on Summer Avenue.
Oh, great. Well, thank you. I have to check both those out.
Yes, you should. Very good food on both.
Good. Good to know. Thank you, Natalia, for sharing your story with us. Your work reflects the power of intergenerational entrepreneurship, even when it's hard, neighborhood investment, and cultural pride. For our listeners, we hope this conversation sparks ideas about how small businesses can shape and sustain thriving communities. Be sure to visit El Criollo and Cafecitos Bakery and support the many local businesses making Newark shine. Don't forget to subscribe, share the episode, and come back for more conversations with the people who are Newark Made.